How do you take constructive feedback? I am sharing today something that hit me a little bit um, because a lovely person um, commented last night that my camera's a bit shaky, which, yes, it is. I will tell you, my setup is currently a suitcase on top of my bed. So as I move, it moves, unfortunately. I do aim to get a better setup eventually, but and just having better lighting in general. Would love that. I do also have a webcam for better quality footage. I just haven't been able to use it because it was repeatedly not saving my content because I didn't have enough space. So there's a few things for me to look at there. And this constructive feedback, this beautiful comment, reminded me that there are new faces finding my videos, which sometimes it feels like there's not. So it felt like a silly thing to invest in. So I really appreciate the feedback to that lovely commenter. I cannot think of their handle on the top of my head, but thank you. Um, I am working towards it, and even had a little look as to how I might light things differently. Like there's some beautiful ways that you can light with LED strip lighting. I love to have like a fun color bounced on this very boring wall behind me, for instance. So feedback very much received, and um, it was interesting because I have to take my own advice because part of me felt a little bit triggered, saying, "Well, the point is I'm just showing up daily here." But hey, you know what? Calling myself out because I've been showing up daily here this entire year, and I did a good month and a half sporadically over the last few months of last year. So I've got plenty of videos. I'm used to showing up here daily. It is time for me to up level. So it is time for me to improve the quality of these so that things aren't shaking so badly. Actually, even just that, I noticed if I hold it, it doesn't shake so much. And I'm usually watching this on a small screen, so um, I don't necessarily see how it might come up if you're playing it on your TV, for instance. So yeah, but yeah, I had to bite the bullet and and take some constructive feedback, which was lovingly given. So that was very much appreciated. And also, if any of that bothers you from my previous videos, I just want you to consider what's triggering you, what perfectionist part of you is finding that you need to um, have things look a certain way for you to receive what I'm talking about, which is really the important part, if I'm being honest. But having come from a film and TV background, I do know how to have a better setup, or at least I know what it looks like to have a better setup. I might not know how to facilitate, um, the video, so like the camera and the lighting and the audio side of things to a better standard because I've come from a costume background, but I definitely know the level of production could be a lot higher. But it's also just me doing this, usually in my bedroom, all alone, of my own volition on the daily. So, um, usually after work and having a full on day. So it's me showing up in the ways that I can for the world at the moment. And I do aim for this channel to go a lot further and reach a lot further. And the way it's going to do that is by having better quality and me improving it on the frequent as I can. So as I am able. So um, yeah, taking that constructive feedback is actually really good for me. And I will say that it did weigh on me a bit today. Uh, and then I had to notice, well, can I just take this as like how can I take my own advice with this and take this as a lesson to a reminder, a loving reminder to do that up leveling, um, and just be grateful that that lovely person chose to leave a comment when there was probably many other people that have watched it and got annoyed by that and turned it off. So yeah, uh, I feel ya. yeah, so um, I always like the idea of taking constructive feedback, and I want to know how I can improve. And I have been that way since I remember my first. Well, I probably did it in my earlier jobs too, but my first like career job in costume, I worked on a TV show called Spartacus, and I loved film and TV and learning about it at my film school so much the year or two before. And when I finally got a film job, I was so excited. And at the end of each week, I'd ask my boss, like, how am I doing? What can I do better? And like, just was so keen and so gung ho, and wanted the feedback. But I know sometimes the feedback's not easy to give because it's not necessarily that good, or somebody just doesn't seem capable of stepping up in the ways you need them to. Um, but I've always tried to keep myself open to it. But I also know that I can be quite sensitive about these things and not mean to take it on board and still kind of take it on board, you know? So um, it's just noticing which parts of me feels the need to do that. And usually it's a loving part that thinks they need to be perfect in order to receive that love and belonging, to stay in that love and belonging so that they can stay in community, stay connected, and thus survive. So it's all for love. I know it's cheesy. Hashtag live, love, love, whatever. So um yeah, I just want you to think about the last time you received like actually constructive feedback that was actually helpful for you to uplevel yourself. And just notice, like, how'd you take that? Maybe you're a pro at this and you're way above me, and you take it really good and you just move on and you do the thing differently that would really serve you, and you nailed it. Or maybe you psychoanalyze it. Maybe you don't even try not to. You're just so used to doing it, like that's something to notice. Or maybe you intend to take it more constructively and not take it on personally, but you find yourself taking it on personally. That's my camp. Yeah. So yeah, I just want you to notice. We don't need to do anything about it. But also a good comment here is just that really anything is that personal, like a personal attack towards you. If anything does feel like a personal attack, usually people are just trying to get by with what they've got to do in their life and their job at the capacity they're able to, and ideally do it in the most efficient way possible so that they can, do other things with their life as well. And um, most people are not thinking about you that often, they're thinking about their own shit. So that really helped me take things less personally when I realized that most of the time it's really not personal. And if it is personal for that person and they're being really vindictive, um, even that's kind of not personal because it's their personal issues that have led them to show up in that way. So that gives me a lot of peace. But when someone lovingly gives something constructive feedback because they were resonating with the message and they appreciated me for showing up, but just found it a little jarring, well, then that I welcome. And even if I might have my moments of taking it on board a little too sharply, which I really didn't. It wasn't too bad. It really wasn't. Um, it is something that I always want to welcome because I don't want to just be speaking into the void and not being able to help people. Um, it's not about me here. It's not about me. I might talk about me a lot. I might talk about you tuning into you. But like this channel is not. I didn't set this up. I don't show up daily to talk about me and whine about my life, or it's I'm here to share about me if I think it's going to help serve you being able to tune into you better. And like otherwise it's not worth my time. Like I could just talk to the mirror, like I don't need to be uploading it to YouTube. So yeah. And also what a waste of time. I want to be helping all you lovely people that are out there that just need a little help trusting and putting yourself first, and tuning into you, because you're the best person in your life, by the way, in case you don't think that yet. Well, just consider how crazy that is, because you're the only one that's in your life the entirety of your life. Like, who's better to put in that position than you? Like, hey, even if you have kids, straight up, you should still come first, in my humble opinion. Sorry, I didn't mean to shit all over you there, but I still recommend that you put yourself first, because then you're leading by example, so your kids can actually choose to put themselves first as they get older and more responsible for themselves, and they will lead by your example and put themselves first when they need to. So, yeah. And if we all like cover our own needs and wants, um, at least needs, come on. And we're all nurturing ourselves when we have capacity, and asking for help when we need, in this world, wouldn't we just be a more balanced world? Wouldn't we choose to put people first, um, rather than profits and greed and you know the planet first? Maybe is putting the planet first would be great, because we live on it and it's kind of important. So yeah, just a thought, a few thoughts really. There's always lots of thoughts coming from me. But yeah, hopefully I'll figure out a way to not make my camera shake so much. But hey, the point is we're showing up here, and again, I do welcome you to just listen to me. Like, the visuals aren't really important here. Maybe they'll get all fancy later, but that's not the point. I kind of don't want to get to that point in a way, because I'm just about having a raw, authentic, vulnerable chat from someone who has a lot of um, wealth of knowledge to share, and knows how to ask good questions as a coach, and just wants to share it rather than hoard it all to myself. So, yeah. I hope that you got something out of this video for yourself today. And if you have more constructive feedback, go on, hit me with it in the comments. And thank you to the lovely person that inspired this video. Yeah, alright, much love, and I'll see you tomorrow.